Hello, in this video we want to talk about a ruthless tyrant, a base man called Caracalla, Antoninus. He was one of the worst emperors Rome ever had. The tyrants of the early Roman Empire are Gaius Caligula, Tiberius, Nero, the three minor emperors after the death of Nero. That's Otho, Vitellius, Galba. And then there's Domitian, and then there's Commodus, and now we're on to Caracalla. So all these people were ruthless men. You see, these people had the notion that that Rome was nothing more than an Eastern court, something like the Persian court. They thought that they were the Shah of Persia. They thought that they were some Oriental ruler, or the ruler of some Celtic northern tribe. And they did not respect the rules of the Senate. I mean, they did not respect what's known as the Senatus Populus et Romani, SPQR. They did whatever they wanted to, and they treacherously murdered friends. They lured friends into thinking that they were safe, and they had them treacherously executed. So we are in the year 211. We are in northern England, on the borders of Scotland, and Septimus Severus has just died. Now, Septimus Severus, Caracalla's father, proved to be ruthless during the civil wars. And after the civil wars ended, well, then he became more popular emperor. But of course that did not raise the people from the dead. So the people who were massacred and could not be censored were massacred in the civil wars and could not become alive again, since Severus changed his tactics after the civil war. So Septimus Severus died fighting a serious war against the Picts and all the northern Celtic tribes of Scotland. And the troops acclaimed the two brothers, Caracalla, who was the eldest, and the youngest brother, Geta, as co-emperors. Now they were already acclaimed Caesars when Severus was fighting the Parthians a couple of years back. Now the thing is, because Caracalla had the opportunity to be the elder brother, he was the major emperor, and most of the control lay in his hands and not in the hands of Geta. Now Geta had a lot of friends, but he was more or less a puppet. So we see a parallel when Tiberius died and he left Caligula and his cousin Gemellus. Gemellus did not survive for long. So we see when Nero took control, Britannicus, who was the real ruler, did not rule for long. So everyone knew that when they were acclaimed co-emperors, they would soon become one emperor. One of them would not last. And seeing that Caracalla was ruthless, and Geta was a kind prince, so it's somewhat hard to see who would prevail, the good prince or the evil prince. Well, sadly, it was the evil prince, Caracalla. So Caracalla began his reign in 211, and he began his reign by executing his tutor, Evidus, Castor, another tutor, his wife, Plotina, her brother, Plautus, and a charioteer called Ephesus. 2012. Geta was next on the line, his brother and co-emperor. So even though Geta was guarded from the plots of Caracalla, he had friends, he had praetorians, he had guards, he had people watching out for him. Still, that was not enough. What happened was Caracalla tricked his brother Geta into coming into his presence and making a formal reconciliation in front of their mother, Julia Domna. And Geta was treacherously murdered on his mother's lap. So can you imagine a mother losing her son by her elder brother, by her elder son, dying on her laps? I mean, that was unheard of. And what's more, Caracalla forbid his mother to mourn her son. Right. And to save face, Caracalla, what he did was he brought out a rumour, a story that it was Geta who was plotting against Caracalla, and not Caracalla was plotting against Geta. So what he did was amazing. I mean, it shocked the whole Roman world, and it also permanently hurt Julia Domna, and she would not survive for long too. I want to remind people that Julia Domna, the wife of Septimus Severus, was a princess of the royal family, the royal priestly family of Emesa. She was a Syrian, and that makes Caracalla and Geta half Phoenician, half Syrian. They were not even Romans, but yet they were on the throne. Now, in the same year, Caracalla went on to execute Papinian, one of the Eastern Phoenician jurists, a lawmaker. He killed a nobleman called Priscus. He framed and executed a centurion, and the men sent him to murder his tutor, Gelo. He executed several provincial governors who were friends of Caracalla. And Caracalla did another thing that was unheard of. He executed the Vestal Virgins. So it's like going into a nunnery, going to some sort of monastery and executing all the nuns. That was unheard of. And that was in the very same year that he murdered his brother in front of his mother. So this person was a real tyrant. I mean, not even the Persians would do this. I mean, not even the worst Eastern tyrant would act like that. He killed the son of Helvius Pertinax, the ex-emperor, and he also killed several Praetorian guards who were friends of Geta, and those who did the deed. So they were framed. So imagine a soldier being ordered to kill Geta, and then being framed and killed for obeying his order. I mean, that's treachery. So in 2013, Caracalla went to Gaul and he executed the proconsul of Narbonensis. In the same year, Caracalla went to Raetia, that's on the borders of Austria and Italy, in the Alps, and he killed several Raetians, some of the natives. So perhaps Caracalla planned to weaken the Celtic population and replace it with some Italians or Latins. Now, 2014, Caracalla continued his policy of being treacherous, and he invited one of the kings of the petty kingdom of Osroene, which is a small Syrian kingdom, and he imprisoned and killed the king called Afgar, not the famous Afgar who met Christ, Syria. One of these, one of the princes, called Afgar. And so, without even fighting, with a treacherous mind, he subdued parts of Osroene. However, he also imprisoned the Armenian king, but the Armenians decided to resist this tyrant, this guy who had nothing to do with the Roman Republic. In the same year, Caracalla went to Germany and he fought against the Kenni and the Alemanni. The Romans formed an auxiliary force from the Alemanni, but they treacherously slaughtered them. So again we see Caracalla betraying his friends. And why did he do that? Because he wanted to weaken the Germans. And a decisive battle was fought against the Kenni, using Australian mercenary archers, that's from Syria, Lebanon, and the emperor was forced to buy peace. So again, this ruthless tyrant ridiculed the empire. I mean, the Roman Empire was so powerful. Now, buying peace from a couple of barbarians, I mean, that was being ridiculous. Oh, no, I forgot to mention that when Septimus Severus died, Caracalla, betraying his father's dreams, he abandoned parts of what is today Scotland. So again, he ridiculed Rome. He not only did not finish the war with the Picts, but he also withdrew. And that's what Commodus did a few years earlier. And that's what Tiberius did with Germanicus years earlier. Now, during the same year, Caracalla arrested and executed Princess Cornificia, the daughter of Marcus Aurelius. And she was quite old at the time. Now, even though the Severus took the name Antoninus, Caracalla made sure that that dynasty would not gain power. So, for example, if this old lady called Cornificia married someone, then that someone could be liable to continue the reign of Marcus Aurelius. But of course, a ruthless tyrant like Caracalla would not permit something like that. 215. Caracalla arrested and executed Gagilius Aemilianus, the ex-governor of Vetus. Then the Romans invaded Armenia. Again, the Romans were beaten off. Rome was ridiculed once more because Caracalla was a useless emperor. And had it been a real emperor, Armenia, I mean the part of it which was pro-Parthian, would have been subdued. And what happened was that the Romans were actually defeated in a pitched battle. Rome was ridiculed, and the Romans took the mother of Thucydides prisoner, and they seized booty like a bunch of pirates. So that's what Caracalla tried to make Rome look like. He ridiculed Rome. And that's nothing compared to what he did in the same year, 2015. Now, Caracalla thought that he was Alexander the Great. He had an obsession with Alexander the Great, and he even thought that he was Alexander the Great. So that's what they do in loonies, in lunatic asylums. And he even formed a Macedonian phalanx. And having doing that, the people of Alexandria thought that this was a pro-Roman, this was a pro-Greek, or a Hellenizer, a Roman emperor who was a Hellenizer. And his troops entered Alexandria, and they ordered the Greeks to form auxiliary troops and to help him fight the Armenians and the Parthians, the Persians. And what he did shocked everyone. He treacherously attacked and killed several of the Greeks of Alexandria. And thousands of years later, Machiavelli, the famous Italian Renaissance politician and writer, historian, he was shocked by that, and he actually talks about this treacherous act in his famous book, The Prince, Machiavelli the Prince. Right. So this treachery was not forgotten 1,000 years later. So we're coming to 2016 now, 216 now. The Romans enter Parthia. So they practically did nothing with Armenia, they practically did nothing with the Germans. And now, in order to save face, Caracalla is trying to defeat the Parthians. But he would not live to see Parthia subdued. By the way, Severus fought against the Parthians and he actually defeated them. Now his son, who was a useless emperor, could not be like his father. So all he did was, in the year 2016, he entered Parthia and he raided parts of Babylon and Cappadocia, which is the Kurdish part, which is Kurdistan. The Romans retired to Edessa, and what they did was they seized Arbela, which was the site where Alexander the Great fought his, near the site where Alexander fought his famous battle with the Persians, centuries earlier. And what they did, again, shocked everyone. Typical of Caracalla. They robbed and they destroyed sacred tombs of Arbela and they committed sacrilege. So Caracalla was trying to turn his Italians, Romans, Latins into a bunch of pirates like himself. Well, that's not what the Romans were like. The Parthians retired beyond the Tigris River and they tried to regroup their forces. That's the winter of 2016. Now in early 2017, now we're in April, the Romans under the Emperor Caracalla, after a second attempt, they captured Edessa, which already was weakened because they had seized Alpharus, their king. And, typical of Caracalla, he executed an Egyptian wizard or prophet called Serapio for prophesying that one of his commanders, Appius Macrinus, would be appointed emperor. Now, what happened was Caracalla again tried his treacherous methods, ridiculing Rome once more. Caracalla tried to marry the daughter of the Parthian Shah, Artabanos. Artabanos was invited to a feast, a wedding party, a wedding feast. And during the wedding feast, the Romans treacherously attacked the Parthians. Artabanos and a few of his bodyguard fled on horseback. So he's trying the same methods. He treacherously killed the Greeks in Alexandria. He did the same thing with several Germans. He did the same thing with the Armenian king, with the Assyrian king, Afgar. He tried to do it with Artabanos. Now, luckily, Artabanos escaped. Not long after that came the fatal blow. Now, Caracalla, because of what Serapio the prophet, the Egyptian prophet, claimed, he grew suspicious of this Appius Macrinus. Appius Macrinus was actually a Berber commander of the troops in Parthia, Mesopotamia, and he would soon succeed Caracalla, although he was not part of the Severan dynasty. And what happened was he ordered, Caracalla ordered some of his commanders to kill this Appius Macrinus, and he wrote it in a letter. He could have whispered it into the ear of some praetorian, but he wrote it in a letter. Now luckily for Macrinus, Appius Macrinus, he read the letter, and he knew what it was about. And there was a certain centurion called Martialis, and Caracalla had executed his brother, the brother of the centurion, because he was a tyrant, that's why. And Martialis hated the emperor, Macrinus hated the emperor, many of the officers were fed up with Caracalla, and so Macrinus ordered this famous centurion, Martialis, to kill the emperor. And how he did it was Caracalla. The Roman army had reached Geta, and Geta was the ancient Haran. It was where Crassus had died in 53 BC. It was where the Parthians had their great victory in that year. So Caracalla stopped there. He visited the temple of Selene. Was not sure whether he robbed anything. And he stopped due to a stomachache, and at that point he was treacherously murdered by the centurion Martialis. And of course the German bodyguards, some of us claim that it was a Scythian bodyguard, some of them claim that it was a German bodyguard. They pursued and they killed Martialis. Now Queen Mother Julia Domna committed suicide when she learned that her son was killed. Right. She lost Geta, and now she lost the wicked son Caracalla. Caracalla had ruled for like 6 years, and he ridiculed the empire, he killed most of his friends, he weakened the empire, he ridiculed it, ethically, militarily, and we have this piece of information that a certain philosopher called Heliodorus, a Greek guy, he was banished into an island and he was charged with murder. And when Caracalla died, he was acquitted and permitted to go free. Now, so these are the basic facts. Opelius Macrinus, this Berber, became an emperor. He spent most of his brief reign around Mesopotamia fighting the Parthians. He didn't do much. And then it was another member of the Severans, Heliogabalos, a 14-year-old pervert, a priest of Baal, a 14-year-old boy who practically knew nothing about ruling the empire. He succeeded Macrinus. The Romans withdrew from Parthia. The Parthians were the victors. He was murdered not long after that. And then, thank God, at least a true Roman emperor took power, and that was Alexander Severus. I'm going to talk about him soon in one of our new videos. So after the reign of Marcus Aurelius, Alexander, after all these years of all these tyrants and all these useless usurpers, we finally have a true emperor called Alexander Severus. Now, a few words about Caracalla. Everyone knows the famous story when the Roman Republic, during the Roman Republic, the Romans were fighting against the Greek king Pyrrhus. This Greek doctor called Nigias, he offered the consul Fabricius, that was in 279 BC, and he offered the consul to poison Pyrrhus. And what did the Romans do? They informed their enemy, Pyrrhus, that his doctor was trying to poison him, and of course Pyrrhus executed the doctor, the evil doctor. So that was Roman ethics. They wanted to win by the valor and not by trickery. Now, it seems that Caracalla became the doctor Nigias, and the Parthians, or the Germans, or the Armenians, or the Austrians became the consul, the good consul Fabricius. Caracalla tried to destroy these ethics, these Roman ethics, the ethics that the Gatos talked about, Cicero talked about, all these philosophers talked about, the Senecas, the Plinies. Caracalla was there with the Roman Empire. He was a tyrant. He thought that Rome was the East. Now, even though Caracalla was a useless tyrant, he did two good things. Yeah, that's true. He did two good things. Well, the first thing he did was he created the famous baths. I visited these baths. I mean, it's a huge place in Rome. That's the centre of Rome, not far from the Colosseum. These famous baths. And also, I saw a dream with the wedding of Caracalla. That was when he treacherously tried to kill Artabanus, the Persian Shah. And finally, Caracalla did something, even though he was a useless tyrant, he did something that changed the entire world. He gave universal suffrage to people who were not Italian Romans, Latins. So Greeks became equal to the Italians, the Spaniards, Celts, Phoenicians, Syrians, Jews, and everyone who was a free citizen of the empire became a Roman citizen. And soon after that, I mean, you see all the emperors who were crowned after the Severans. I mean, most of them, they were not even Italian. Most of them were foreigners. And when we go on to Byzantium, the Eastern Roman Empire, well, you hardly have any Italians there. Not even as generals, not even as consuls. So Caracalla made Rome, the western part, and later the eastern part, a universal empire. He made it a cosmopolitan empire. Everyone was equal now. Of course, that was not, I mean, that led to the decay of Rome. That led to the decay of the Roman culture. He changed everything. So, of course, he did not do it himself. One of his famous lawmakers did it. And one of them he actually killed, Papinian. So that's it. So we have Caligula, Tiberius Nero, Galba, Otto, Vitellius, Domitian, Commodus, and now Caracalla, Didius Julianus, all these useless emperors. They really killed Rome. But that was not Rome. Caracalla was not Rome. And in the next video we're going to talk about some of the good emperors. And they held the true Roman Republic, the Senatus et Populos Romani, the true ethics of Rome. Now this mean figure is Caracalla. You can see the malice in his face and his beards. And here we have Geta, the young brother, who is shaved like a proper Roman, a kind brother who did not last long.